Welcome into the show, everyone. I am Preston Poole alongside Tyler Adams here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon when we are recording this. This is pre-recorded here on the Sports Animal YouTube Unadvised Pod. Give us a follow at Unadvised Pod on X, at Preston Poole 405, and at Tyler's Takes. We're going to get into some college football today and some NBA basketball, as the Oklahoma City Thunder are hot on the streets right now. They've got a couple of new documentaries out, so we'll tell you about those and a whole lot more. How you doing today, T-Bag?
I'm good. Real quick, OSU basketball is back. Exhibition game against Auburn last night. Watched the last about 9 minutes after the Thunder documentary and then overtime. I fear for the haters that they may have a team. They looked good. They looked good. Exhibition, but nonetheless.
It sounds like both state schools will have a decent squad in basketball.
Yeah. OU, I knew OU was potentially had a possibility of being the preseason top 25. I don't think they were, but that's about where they're at right now. So
yeah,
Bedlam at noon in the Paycom Center in early December.
I think OU beat Texas Tech in like a secret scrimmage that you weren't able to see. So
that's the funniest part is. Every scrimmage I've ever heard of in college basketball has been like we went to their practice facility scrimmage and went home.
Yeah.
This was like a full on in an arena in Birmingham with fans there, streamed on YouTube, like for all the world to see. So I think that's a new thing in college basketball. I don't know.
Yeah. It's who knows? All right, let's go ahead and get into some college football. Oklahoma is going to head down to South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. Oklahoma is a 5.5-point favorite. I don't know how much there is to really say about this game. Obviously, South Carolina has kind of disappointed in their season so far than the expectations that they had heading into the season. Obviously, Oklahoma is coming off of a rough loss where just nothing on offense looked good for them. My main question is, how does the Sooners offense and John Mateer bounce back after what happened in the Cotton Bowl last week?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Now South Carolina still has those two stud defensive ends. I know Brent Venables talked about them on his
which are going to be a problem for that Oklahoma offensive line.
Big time problem. I know the OU offensive line. I can't remember who Carey said it was, but I know the OU offensive line. I don't know if they got players that are going to be missing this weekend or just going to get some people beat up. Which, when you're not a good offensive line, you don't want to deal with injuries. You want to have your best five out there. So I know they're fairly beat up. But with all that said, I think 5.5. I don't know if OU's going to cover that per se.
I think it even opened at 4.5 too, so it went in Oklahoma's favor. Betting wise,
I do think OU is going to win this one because I just don't think South Carolina's offense is worth a damn. Actually, really kind of outside their defensive line, I don't think they're that good at all.
Yeah,
Lenore Sells is good, but he doesn't have any weapons this year like he did last year. But this is definitely in the must-win category for the Sooners.
Oh, 100%, especially with, depending on how this weekend goes, and we'll talk about this game later, but Ole Miss taking on Georgia this week. Ole Miss comes to town next week to take on the Sooners at 11 a.m. So that's a big thing. Ole Miss right now is the number 5 team in the country. So if you win this week against South Carolina, you got a chance to get a top 5 win should Ole Miss beat Georgia this weekend at Georgia. So that's big. And I forget who asked. It might have been you that asked, are all these must-wins going forward? And it kind of feels like that at the moment for Oklahoma. I know it's not the case, right? They can still lose 1 or 2 more and still sneak into the playoffs. But
if you win your next 3 going into Alabama, then you can be like, all right, like maybe not a must-win.
Yeah.
But it feels like that, exactly.
You don't want to drop 2 in a row, especially in the SEC.
No.
Especially how last season went. And this is
the schedule.
This is kind of I hate to say it after, a 5-1 start, but this is a pivotal moment for Brent Venables and his time at Oklahoma, this next stretch of, the rest of the season.
For sure. I mean, they're 5-1, but look at this schedule. It's very possible you could. I don't think they will, but it's very possible you could finish 5-7 or 6-6. And if that happens, then Brent's job is done. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. I think OU is probably still like an 8-4 or 8-4, 9-3 football team. But yeah, I mean, every team OU plays from here on out is really good. Now, I think Alabama going into the season is as good as advertised. I think Ole Miss. I know Ole Miss is ranked number 5 or number 4.
It doesn't feel like they're the number 5 team in the country.
Yeah, exactly. Like that one's about that one going into the season is Ole Miss is probably still about the same way I probably thought they were going to be. Missouri's better, but very winnable game at home, and then LSU is still very winnable. I mean, they're going to get a couple losses coming up.
Yeah. You just look at the top 25 and you're like, who has passed the eye test so far? Ohio State, and Miami and Indiana are the only 3 teams I think that have passed the eye test so far.
Yeah. I mean,
the rest is kind of just up in the air. Like they could lose, 3 more games. They could go undefeated, yada, yada, yada.
Shout out Georgia Tech just being 6-0, by the way.
Yeah.
I took them over 7.5 wins. So they haven't played anyone yet, but they played. No, that's this weekend. Yeah, they haven't played anyone. Played Clemson. That's it.
What do you think? And I know no one. Obviously, the biggest story this weekend in Stillwater is homecoming. The second biggest story are the neon palms.
What a shame.
Which I have no clue what that even is or what that even means. But I've seen your outrage on social media, so I was going to give you the floor to talk about this and talk about Oklahoma State taking on Cincinnati this weekend.
Yeah. So Murphy's has always, as long as I can remember, and as long as I think a lot of people can remember, like it's not like it's something they put in 2004. There's been palm trees that they're fake palm trees, and the palms are neon lighting, and it's been bright orange, and it's right there on the outside. It's at the very beginning. Like Murphy's is the first bar on the strip, so it's like that's like where it all starts. And those palm trees are right outside. You can see them all through the strip. And it's kind of been iconic. And now they've been changed to green. I don't want to get into the other things with what's going on in the bars because it sounds like there's some people that like to take people to court up there. So we'll just stick away from that. But I will put my foot down and say, you got to change those palm trees back. Like that one's not cool. If you want to replace them with new orange neon palm trees, okay, everything's good. We got to move on. There's some lights going out in there anyway. They probably need to be replaced. Green. That the whole point was like they're orange palm trees. It doesn't make sense. Like that was the point. So yeah, that's an outrage. And then Cincinnati coming to town. They're really good. Brendan Sorsby having an awesome season. If they make Arlington, he might be Big 12 Player of the Year. I mean, he's crushing it right now. I think he's got like 15 touchdowns, 1 interception, like 1,400 yards, 1,500 yards. They're good. I mean, we obviously know about Dante Corleone on their defensive line, but they're just a very like top to bottom sound football team. And Preston, I mean, their schedule, they got a little bit of. I was looking at it earlier. I know they got Utah and BYU. They got the Holy War themselves coming up. But their schedule outside that is pretty favorable, and they don't have any conference losses right now. Their one loss is to a Nebraska team. I mean, there's a path for them to get to Arlington. There's a real path for them to get to Arlington, and I'm excited to see them in person this week and kind of see what they got because I think they're a pretty good football team, and they're obviously just gonna destroy OSU. So
you're gonna have to wait till late in the day until 7 p.m. to watch them play, which that probably sucks when you have a team unfortunately as bad as Oklahoma State and they're like, actually, we'll give you prime time on. Is it on like TNT or
ESPN
one of those ESPN2? Okay, so they give you the prime time slot there on the Deuce. So.
I mean, what are people going to be watching? Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, or whoever the night game is? Tennessee, Alabama. What are you going to choose to watch? Notre Dame, USC.
I will be watching all 3 of those. Is what I will be watching because I'm a sicko.
The Holy War also at 7.
Cincinnati, 21.5-point favorites.
Did you see was it the BYU? Is either BYU or Utah fan? He got arrested for threatening.
I believe it was a BYU fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was.
I think it was
yeah.
because they're 32 people at Utah. So,
Yeah.
college football.
Yeah. Speaking of college football, number 10 LSU is at Vanderbilt. Number 17 Vanderbilt this weekend. Vandy is a 2.5-point favorite. Does Vanderbilt, quote unquote, shock the world and take down the Tigers this weekend as 2.5-point favorites?
Where's it at?
It's in Nashville.
I think that's very possible. I think
They're going to throw the goalposts into the river again.
Would they? Yeah, they would. They're Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they did it against Alabama last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I think Vanderbilt's got a good chance. I still think LSU's defense is amazing. Their offense is not that good.
Just not there. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Nussmeier this year, but just not it for sure. Number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia. Georgia is a 4.5-point favorite at home against Ole Miss. Obviously, it's a top 10 matchup. This is what a 2:30 game, I believe. Should be a good one. I think this will be a good one. We'll see if Ole Miss is it this week. They kind of were on sleepwalk mode last week against Washington State. We'll see if they're the real deal in this game.
Revenge game too, because Georgia Ole Miss just destroyed Georgia last season. Now it didn't affect Georgia because they still made the playoff, still won the SEC. But revenge game aspect, Lane Kiffin calling Kirby Smart fat in his weekly press conference. I don't know if you saw that clip, Preston.
I did not.
They asked Lane. Someone was like, "Hey, you and Kirby are very enthusiastic on the sideline. Who do you think burns more calories, you or Kirby?" And I don't think Kirby's burning a lot of calories these days.
Oh, that's good. So Lane Kiffin is always good for a couple of jabs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Here and there. Number 11 Tennessee at I didn't even put the number for Alabama. I forget what they're ranked. But Alabama is a 7.5-point favorite in this one. This feels like Alabama might just dominate this game.
Alabama, I think, is really good. Tennessee's kind of been playing with their food in a lot of these ones as well.
Close one against Arkansas last week.
Close one against Arkansas. Close one against Mississippi State. Obviously lost to Georgia. Hell, Syracuse put up a fight with them. They ran away with it, but Syracuse put up a fight with it. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Alabama's gonna win this one.
USC, number 20 USC at number 13 Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 9.5-point favorite. Notre Dame, after the first 2 weeks, they've bounced back. They're
making the playoff. Just brace yourself, everybody. They're making the playoff. They're gonna win this game, and everyone's like, all right, they're a playoff team again, and they're just gonna win out.
No, 100%. USC obviously took it to Michigan last week, knocked Michigan out of the top 25. So let's see. We shall see, I should say, what Lincoln Riley and the Trojans have dialed up against the Catholics there at Notre Dame. And then the final top 25 matchup between two teams, the Holy War, like you mentioned earlier, number 23 Utah at number 15 BYU. Utah is a 3.5-point favorite, and this game's always a good one. Always a good one.
Yeah, for the record book sets who played Preston. This is going to be, you want to talk about an awesome atmosphere. BYU is going to be rocking this weekend. The Mormons are going to be rocking. They're going to have the Cougar tails going everywhere. And Pepsi's, are they going to get crazy? Maybe have a little Pepsi on, or Dr. Pepper maybe on Saturday.
Screw the sugar-free stuff.
It's a holy war, baby. Yeah, they're going to get all the sugar and caffeine that they can get. I'm really excited for this one. I'm gonna get me and Gideon set up with a quad box and a press box in Stillwater on Saturday, because to be honest, guys, I just don't know how much of the OSU Cincinnati game we'll be breaking down.
That definitely won't be appointment television viewing right there between the Pokes and the Bearcats. 100%.
No. I do think it's gonna be a good crowd though. I was looking at ticket prices. They're like $70 a ticket right now for like nosebleeds. I mean, there's not really nosebleeds in Boone Pickens, but which, I mean, for being 1-5 and 21-point underdogs.
Yeah.
All right. At least the nosebleeds aren't going for $5 like they have been.
I have to be up, I don't know, around 5:30 or so Saturday morning after working a Thunder game the night before. So I'm hoping I make it to kickoff of Oklahoma State Cincinnati. I might be passed out over after the Oklahoma game. You
Hey,
never know.
you're gonna miss an all time great game.
Last thing in college football I wanted to bring up to you. By the way, it's a short episode. I've got to hit the road to get to a high school game tonight because fall break they wanted to move everything to Thursday. So, but
I thought fall break went away.
Who knows with these schools these days?
I know it did because in college my freshman year we had fall break, and then after that they just added on a full week of Thanksgiving. And I know OU and OC both did that. So I know those are colleges compared to public like high schools and stuff, but like I just assumed that this.
Yeah. Who knows? You get a little sprinkling of snow on the ground these days, and they cancel school. Back in my day, they made us go to school during that. So who knows? So all right, the last thing I wanted to bring up with you, Teabag and college football. Have you seen the story on North Carolina that Pablo Torre dropped this morning?
Yes. Also, do you have me? My connection just buffered.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're back with us.
Yeah, I did. Whoa, Bill Belichick. Whoa.
The UNC general manager Michael Lombardi went on a preseason trip to Saudi Arabia. Said, you know what I want to do before the season starts? I want to go hit up Riyadh and see what's going on there in Saudi Arabia and see if they have any NIL funds or any funds that we can raise for the North Carolina football program. Pablo Torre dropped that this morning. And I say this is that if Oklahoma or Oklahoma State need an ambassador to Saudi Arabia or anything like that, I believe either you or I are available to hop on a jet whenever needed.
I'm willing for the right price. For the right price to sell my soul, I am willing to do that. Now, again, it's got to be the right price. I am cheap because I am poor, but I'm willing. I'll leave it at
that. Money talks, right? Especially when you're a couple of broke guys like us, for sure. So I just saw that, and it seems like Pablo Torre is breaking every single story these days in sports.
Is he gonna ruin just sports for all of us?
He might. He's like, hey, your favorite player,
like final boss team. He's gonna take down every team, and like his final boss is like find dirt on the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's like his final boss.
Stay the hell away from Brahms and Sonic and all that, Pablo. Stay away.
Yeah, we do a lot of shady deals with. I mean, Shay there for ice cream every Friday. I give him a briefcase with a lot of money.
Well, speaking of the Oklahoma City Thunder, let's go ahead and get into. They've got a new couple of basketball documentaries that dropped over the last couple of days. Loud City, obviously, you and I watched yesterday, and if you missed that, it was on NBA TV, but you can also, I believe, find it on the NBA's YouTube page if you want to go there and watch it.
Which I would have known it was on the YouTube page because I just record on YouTube TV, and it didn't let me skip through the ads, so that was awesome. And I could have just watched on YouTube because I do have YouTube Premium.
Yes.
So I could have just watched on there ad free. I didn't know about that deal this morning. But you tweeted me before I started like that I got cucked, and I was like, I thought you meant just like in general it's not that good. So I was like, so I went into like, is this not good? I was like, oh, it's kind of cheesy. I was like, oh, that's probably what he meant. I was like, oh, it's cheesy.
It was cheesy.
It was. And then it gets to the morning animals part. And I was like, oh.
You were literally, they even had Carrie on who doesn't even show up to the office ever.
Well, so
everyone on the morning animals except for you.
I remember that morning vividly. We were told before that NBA camera crew is going to be coming into the studio. And on game one, I went out with some friends. And I decided to stay out that night till about 1:30 in the morning. I go to work, at 5. Yeah. So I was a little hungover, a little woozy that morning, and I just remembered
you're on fumes that day.
I just remembered whatever they got there to be like, you just stay back and you shut up. This is not your time. This is you. This is not for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever I saw that, whenever I saw the on air sign, I heard Phil's voice. I was like, that's what Preston's talking about. I was like, instantly it clicked with me. But yeah, it was all in all. I mean, it's cheesy, but it's a championship DVD. They're always cheesy. My favorite part was they showed like one of the Thunder in season or NBA Cup games with the court.
Yeah.
And I literally paused the show and I told my roommate, I said, I guarantee you they're going to spend about 3 minutes on the NBA Cup final and make it really dramatic.
Yeah.
Because the NBA is going to be trying to promote the NBA Cup. And sure enough, it's like Cruz's like, man, we really wanted that one. It's such a good experience. I'm like, they wanted it. I'm not saying they didn't want it. Don't get me wrong. But we all remember that NBA Cup. We're like, hey, if we win, it's going to be the best thing ever. If we lose, we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember that game being like a blowout, and then they show the final score, and it was like 94 to like 88 or 82, something like that. And I'm like, well, that wasn't the blowout that I thought it was.
It was a blowout for the Thunder.
Yeah. So that was good. And then starting five dropped early this morning.
Can't
so
wait.
Teabag.
Watching that one tonight.
You know what? And this isn't really a spoiler, but I turn on my TV this morning. I woke up at like 8 and I'm like, all right, well, I have to do a hit with Ravis at 9:20, 9:30 in the morning. So I got like an hour and a half. I might pop on an episode or two of this show. So I do, and within 30 seconds, I hear a familiar voice, which was Matt Ravis. And then 10 seconds later, I hear another familiar voice, which is Gideon Hamilton.
Jump scare.
And then, a couple minutes later, I hear another familiar voice in Matt Pinto. And I said, God, my job just got 10 times tougher having to deal with a bunch of guys who can now say they have been on Netflix documentaries.
So I saw Ravis this morning. And whenever I walk by, I go, whoa, like mess with him. And he thought he's like, shut up. Like, shut up. And I was like, you've been heard by millions and millions of people. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. I need to check the credits and see if they're like in the credits or anything like that. But I'm assuming they just say like audio via the sports animal. Yeah. So that was good stuff. And then last thing on the Thunder, which I just saw this is great. One of the meteorologists here in Oklahoma City, Damon Lane, tweeted this out. But I guess around the town where they have the signs that say like Oklahoma City limits or like welcome to Oklahoma City, there's now another sign underneath that says home of the 2025 NBA champions as well.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Which gives you like kind of like the small town feel, right? Because if you drive in small town Oklahoma or Texas, you always pull into one of the towns and it always says home of the Lions, 1952 state champions, 1963 state champions and stuff like that.
We need to get it on the water tower now, wherever our water tower in Oklahoma City is. We need to put the championship stuff on there.
Put it on the lighthouse at Hefner Lake.
Yes.
So I saw that and I'm like, that's very cool. They did leave enough room should they need to add a couple more championships on there. So, but I did see that and thought that was pretty cool. So
I love how brainwashed they all are just to winning. Like they're just all just brainwashed to win. I love it.
Yeah, I'm like 4 episodes in, I think, to the starting 5, and it's pretty cool to see the kind of behind the scenes stuff, even with Kevin Durant and James Harden.
Yeah,
that was really
James
cool.
Harden has a girlfriend now. I don't know if you got that part, but I saw.
Yeah, and he has a son too that I don't know that he told anyone about. He has a son. Who, by the way, it's not like a newborn either. He's 6 years old, so he's been hiding for 6 years. But he seems like a great dad, and the kid seems like a great kid. So shout out James Harden.
Yeah, shout out James Harden.
Tyrese Halliburton obviously in it as well, and then as well as Jaylen Brown. So it was pretty cool. You can catch it on Netflix. You can catch that Loud City one on, like I said, the NBA's YouTube, or if you have YouTube TV or NBA TV, set it to record, and it'll pop on there. All right, you got anything else before we wrap this thing up?
No, my Bears are back.
Bears are back, yes.
My Bears are back.
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Saints this weekend.
Hey, could be 4 in a row.
Then you get a healthy Lamar and the Ravens off a bye on the road, which is scary. But if you win that, I'm gonna get really crazy.
I have to go against Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts this weekend, so I'm not too excited for that one. The first place Chargers might be on the ropes.
Out of 2 first place teams.
Yeah, so that should be a good one. But all right, we will be back probably Sunday afternoon to talk about all the games from over the weekend. We might even do a little Thunder preview as well because they start their season on Tuesday's ring night. So remember that ring night.
I can't wait to
Tuesday
see
night.
what the Reigns and banner looks like.
Hopefully they're. I mean, I'm positive what the banner will look like. I think it'll look like the rest of them, maybe like a different color.
I think it's gonna be like a white version.
Yeah.
Or written. It's gonna be bigger. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be bigger.
Yeah. I think it'll be like by itself in like a different area of the arena. So
like the Texas flag or some crap.
So
that stupid thing.
That'll be cool to see that on Tuesday night, but we'll talk all about that on Sunday. Until then, you guys be safe and have a good one.